Hello everyone and welcome to round 10. We are in Austria today and I'll be going through the reserves in just a moment and all of that fancy jazz. And unfortunately again no stream for Tier 2 because our commentator was not available. But what can you do? And same one's been going for the majority of F2. Alright, and qualifying is underway. Q1 has started and it looks like rain, which I'm sure the drivers won't be excited about. Alright, so we have Rec. Where is he? There we go. Rec 300 106 in the McLaren, reserving for the Inyo. And that is basically the only reserve we have today. Andre can make it. KCDB and Marcoris were maybes, but have not been able to make it. Brooksy pulled out last minute. Still need to see what's going on that front, and still no driver in the second Red Bull seat, which is unfortunate. As I see a Ferrari and the two Williams coming out, and I'm happy to say that we have Jamie Robertson back on the track after getting his wheel fixed back from the factory. It's gonna be nice to have him back with us. And I thought it was raining, but it's just very cloudy, so I do think rain isn't bound, but we'll just have to wait and see. So Jamie Robertson is the first one out on the track, followed by his teammate Het Bumpier, who I'm sure will be glad to see his teammate finally back out on track as well. Then we've got Senexta behind them, followed by the McLaren of Rec, who should be faring around the bottom of the field today. And a lot of the drivers out of the pits, almost everyone already out. Only JT Gelato, Bosman Pickle and Sanev still in the pits. And rain isn't bound. Wait, Simon, how do you know rain isn't bound? You're not even in this lobby. Anyway, I'm gonna go a bit on board with Jamie as Roy gets a 5-place grid penalty for collision with CRG Velo, which I'm sure was an accident and was unintentional, and unfortunately there is nothing we can do about that to remove it, so Roy is just gonna have to stick with it, and he's not gonna be pleased with that at all. So Jamie Robertson coming through a hairpin, bit of a shaky exit. Gonna be interesting to see the lap times. And something very important to point out, JT Gelato, the man in the McLaren, currently first in the Drivers' Championship, according to my calculations. If he gets 40 points more than Het Bumpier, because TRL runs its own point system, which means Het Bumpier needs to finish like 8th or lower, not including 3 points for pole position and 2 points for fastest lap, then JT Gelato would win the Drivers' Championship here today. So yeah, a lot to play for in this race, and even the races to come if he doesn't win it today. So, in the meantime, Het Bumpier crosses the line, 103.5. I'm seeing Jamie Robertson must have invalidated or let some people past, but he's about to cross the line now. And he's gonna set a 123.1, so yeah, there was definitely a mistake or something along the way. So, Rec, 105.3. Martins, 104.2. Jamie Robertson's retired from the session. And that is not the start of qualifying that he'd be looking for. Max currently in first, 103.3. Het Bumpier in second, 103.5. Followed by Tan and the Racing Point, 103.8. And then very close behind Tan, 103.8 as well, Merv Martin. Tsenexta 104 on the dot, Martins, DeRoy, the two Renaults, 104.2 and 0.4. And then a Rec with a 105.3. I don't know what happened to James Robertson. Simon's in chat with Rec. That's why Rain is inbound indeed then. Yeah, and James Robertson did crash out, quite unfortunate for him. Sonev, the only AlphaTauri on track today, invalidates his lap. I think he's going to be going for another go around. No, I think he's taking this as a... It's invalidated both laps. Ooh, so he might just re-enter the pits because I doubt he's going to fuel to have another go. But we'll just have to wait and see. Shot Ferry, Serb with the two Mercedes, both on outer laps. CRG Velo as well has a lot of pace in him. Obviously, Het Bumpier, Merv Martin, Max, CRG Velo, JT Gelato, Shot Ferry. These guys could all potentially, challenge for the title. Bosman Picker, look at him go. 103.5, and I'm seeing drops of rain. And JT Gelato really better come back out, because if he gets caught out by the rain, then there is no way he's going to be setting a proper lap. So yeah, pretty good pace from Bosman Pickle, and there's also some drops of rain on track, so probably he's got more pace. So next is retired from the session. Yeah, with the rain kicking in, we start taking a look. Sonev, Serbov, JT. See Offshot Ferry set to 103.9, Tan 103.8, CRG Velo 103.6. So a lot of competition, and the rain maybe not playing too much of a factor. Oh, and that's why JT didn't set a lap. He didn't move out the way. Ooh. So yeah, hopefully though JT Gelato would set. Oh well. I just clocked. Only 5 drivers get eliminated from Q1, but that's if you're 20. When you're 15, no one's going to be getting eliminated. So at least no one really has to worry about that. Everyone can just drive a chillax lap. So yeah, Serbov and JT Gelato can just do chill laps, and we'll have no issues going through Q2 as long as, they actually set a lap. Sonev 104.8, slowest so far on the grid out of the full-time drivers, and I wonder if it's because of the rain or if it's not, or if it's because of a lack of practice. 4/10 down over the next guy, DeRoy. Not too great. almost everyone in the pits. Rex, I think, only one out on track. And I highly doubt any improvements are going to be happening. I don't think he really is trying to push with the rain and all, I mean. Yeah, and everyone's starting to retire. Serbov coming out on the pits, and JT needs to also make his way out. Gonna invite a guy to the session. I might wait. Let's see. Ooh, JT Gelato 5-place grid penalty for a collision, which I'm not exactly sure how that's happened because none of them are out on track. Taking a quick look at race director. Yeah, both the Roy and JT have got grid penalties. Weird stuff. And I see the Roy's left. Wait, Max set. Okay, I think the game is giving me stuff very delayed, as I'm gonna re-invite the Roy. And I'm also going to be inviting another guy to the session. I don't have him added yet. He'll just be joining and starting last. So yeah, JT and Serov, no need for any fast laps, just a chill lap. Still, although there's enough rain, soft, still good enough, which is, you know, pretty neat, I guess, for the drivers. But yeah, I highly doubt JT Gelato's gonna be able to set a first place kind of lap with all this rain. Yeah, already losing a bit of traction out there, going through the first corner. Alright, so stream should still be up. Alright, just inviting a guy, Vicky. He'll be reserving, and I don't know what car yet. The game will probably just assign him a car automatically, and then I'll decide, and then, you know, his points will go to a certain constructor. In the meantime, basically everyone's retired from the session, obviously, because no need to be waiting the extra 3 minutes. Bosman, Martins, Rec, only guys left, and yeah, Vicky's joined. Boston, Pickle, and Martin's only guys left. Who are realistically just wasting our time, but yeah. As I highly doubt they plan on going out again. I mean, there is literally no use to that. Busman Pickle returning from the session. Yep, just leaves Martins. Wait, Vicky's in the pits? No way Vicky can go out. No way Vicky can still qualify. Busman seemingly having connection issues, which is not great because, you know, he is up in second and he might actually have a decent chance to do well in the race. But I think his entire yeah, and Vicky is able to go out, so he's going to be the last guy that will be setting a lap, and all he needs to do is beat that 1:23.1, I think, of Jamie Robertson to go through. Didn't leave the session, grid penalties done me over. Yeah, you and JT both have stupid grid penalties. Pray for a lobby restart, because if that does happen, then I will be able to, you know, remove the remove the 5 place grid penalty for you and JT, because they were stupid grid pens. But it's not something where I can just, you know, restart lobby because 2 guys have stupid grid place penalties. So yeah, Vicky, last guy out in the Alfa Romeo. He's reserving for Andre, who couldn't make it today. And yeah, I don't know what happens in the case of him going slow. Ooh, Busman Pickles after the session again. Connection issues. That's not great. But yeah, as I was saying, I don't know what happens in the case of him going slower than Jamie Robertson, but Jamie Robertson crashed out, so I don't know who will go through in that scenario. And I'm going to be sending a few invites, spare invites, to Busman Pickle due to all these connection issues. Yeah, and he's gonna restart his PS4. Let's get through now. According to the game, Vicky got a purple sector 1, and I highly doubt that, because, well, he's on inters and people were able to do laps on softs, but hey, we'll just have to wait and see. Malaysia. Oh, and Vicky's actually invalidated his lap time, so he's going to be starting in 16th nonetheless. Not going to get ahead of Jamie Robertson. So that means we will have 14 people in Q2, as both Jamie and Vicky will be getting eliminated. Vicky because, you know, out of in the bottom 5, and Jamie because he crashed out. And obviously JT Gelato, the Roy, with the 5 place grid penalties that will be applied later on. Not gonna be pleased by that at all. Anyone that's actually driving, can you let me know if there's going to be rain like during the race, during Q2 and Q3? Drop a comment. So yeah, definitely heavier rain now that we're in Q2. Probably inters, if not wets, will be the tire choice. So yeah, I'm really curious. It's seemingly Inter's tire of choice, but I am curious as to whether we will be having rain in Q3 and in the race. Alright, so quite a number of drivers out on the track. Basically everyone, apart from Tan 1212, Serbulf, Tsenexa, and Busman Pickle. Busman Pickle has restarted this game, has rejoined the session, so hopefully we won't be seeing any more connection issues on his end. And yeah, now he's still the only one in the pits, everyone else on and out lap, so this is going to create some qualifying mayhem, but as usual, as we like to see, Williams out in front of the pack. A first driver out onto qualifying, Hetbumpier, with his teammate Jamie Robertson having retired in Q1, having crashed more so than retired. And now Hetbumpier is going to get underway as we're seeing some yellow flags in Sector 3. I think it's nothing major, I think it's just drivers getting ready for their lap. Just a bit of extra slowness as the two Renaults might be working in tandem. The Roy and Martins maybe might be getting some slipstream, some tow, I'm not too sure. It's a bit of a hard thing to do. Now Boston Pickles is going to be really careful on exit of the pits because he's going to have a lot of drivers on hot laps now. So he's got to be really careful about that. And in fact, McLaren's going to be coming up from, oh never mind, McLaren will be coming up from his left in just a few short moments, and that is, well, the McLaren of JT Gelato, who according to game, fastest Sector 1, obviously JT Gelato as I mentioned earlier, current first place in the Drivers' Championship, could win the Drivers' Championship here today in a quite unlikely scenario, but still possible. Yellow flags for Serbulf. I hope he did not block the hot lap of Tan 1212, and yeah, and Serbulf though invalidated his lap, and that is why the yellow flags came out. Hetbumpier about to cross the line, 113.0. Let's see how other drivers are going to fare on the intermediates. CRG Velo 111.9, Max 112.4. Did Hetbumpier make a mistake, or is he just that slow in the rain? The Roy 113.4, Martins 113.5. Quite a lot of varied pace, I'm saying. A half shot Ferry 112.5. JT Gelato currently in first 111.3. Sanev 114.8. McLaren of Wreck is invalidated, and Sniggs is going to be rounding the final corner now, and after that I'll be sending a Sniggs that 113.3, and I'll be sending an invite to CRG Velo, who left the session. Ooh, and he might actually have some internet issues on his end as well. And in the meantime, no one else has set a lap, although I'm seeing the Williams of Hetbumpier might be going for another go-around here. And even, I think that's Merv Martin behind. Or is it next? Wait, let's see. Yeah, it is Merv Martin, the Alfa Romeo of Merv Martin, I think, also going for another go-around. So yeah, JT Gelato currently in first by quite a number of tenths. 6 tenths, over half a second. No joke. Merv Martin in third, 112.2. So far only CRG Velo into the 111s alongside JT Gelato. Tan, Serbulf, Wreck all needing, and Boston Pickle all needing to set laps. Boston Pickle invalidated his lap time. He'll need to go around once again. Wreck going super wide. He'll be needing to set another lap time. Definitely missing his braking point over there. Serbulf up next. He's going to actually be setting lap unless he invalidates on the final corner. Wreck, that's DQ'd for facing the wrong way. You love the game's glitches. And Serbulf with a 121.0. This is Q2. Bottom 5 get eliminated and don't go to Q3. We only had 14 because Jamie Robertson crashed out, and Wreck is disqualified, so that means only 3 drivers will be getting eliminated. And right now Tan 1212 11th with a 114.2, Serbulf with a 121.0, and Bosman Pickle still trying to get a valid lap time in there. In the meantime, I think the Roy's improved to a 112.7. Half Shot Ferry with a 420, 112.420. Numbers you like to see. Martins 113.3, and then 10,000ths of a second behind him is Sonev in 9th. And very close behind Sonev is Sonexta as well, with also a 113.3, who just improves to a 113.1. And Bumpy not looking so strong with that 113.0, and hasn't really been able to seem to improve. He's almost a 10th up, coming through sector 2. We'll just wait and see what he can do once he hits that finish line. That start finish line, how quick is he going to actually go? In 7th, that he's not at risk of elimination, but if some drivers go faster than him, he might be on the brink. And Head Bumpy now coming through down the final straight, improves, but only to a 112.9. Could be enough though to get him to Q3, as the drivers behind not really seemingly like they're gonna have the pace to improve that much. They need to improve by 4/10 and more if they want any chance of getting past FMPA. So Tan 12-12, Serbulf, both with 113.7s, need to improve by like half a second or 4/10 to, you know, get past Martins and Sonev for 10th place, because currently Tan and Serbulf in the elimination zone. Bosman Pickle just coming out of the pits for an outlap, needing to go around again since he invalidated it last time. And JT Gelato enjoying his laps, 4 laps in, almost 5 laps in. Currently fastest with a 111.3. I think that was his first lap that he set and was the fastest, and has not been able to go faster than that, probably taking some nice practice, which leads me to believe that maybe the race is in the rain. However, I am not sure about that. I have not had any confirmation. Bosman Pickle on an lap, he'll be wanting to obviously go for a fast lap time and get into the top 10, but he does not want to validate it again, because then he will have some serious issues. In the meantime, I'm going to quickly re-invite Sergi Velo once again, who has not rejoined the session since. And yeah, Bosman Pickle starting up his lap roundabout now. So yeah, Sergi Velo had lost his Wi-Fi connection entirely, and I'm going to be sending him just another invite just in case the 2 I sent him already don't work. And yeah, Bosman Pickle so far has kept it valid, and we'll just have to wait and see how fast it's going to make him go. I see Sonev's retired, but I think he's done so in the pit. Sergi Velo returns, Bosman Pickle keeping it valid. And where's Bosman Pickle gonna go? That's down in 13th. He stays where he is, 114.0. Slowest lap time we've seen so far. Almost a 114.1, and that is not great. So Tan, Serbulf, Bosman Pickle, all in the elimination zone. Sonev must be thinking that he is safe. It does seem to be now maybe possibly wet weather conditions, and if that is the case, then I don't think the drivers will be improving on their lap times. Take a quick look at the chat. Still nobody's told me if the race is going to be in the rain or not, so we'll just have to wait and see for that. And JT Gelato retired from the session, done so in the pit, so nothing to worry about on that front. So Tan, Serbulf, Bosman Pickle, time to beat 113.333 to get ahead of Sonev in 10th. Getting ahead of Sonev, they might as well get out of Martins, who's with the 113.323, could put themselves up into 9th. And, you know, that's a bit of an extra position to save yourself from elimination. Fair retiring, and people slowly starting to retire comfortably in the pits. Only people out on track: Tan 12-12, Serbwolf out on outlaps trying to get out of the elimination zone. Head Bumpier looking for a bit of extra practice, also out on outlaps. Same from Max and Merv Martin, who are both into the 112s. 112.2 from Merv Martin, 112.4 from Max. Both may be looking for some final improvements. Still on the... Oh, they are on wet tires. So, I don't really see how they're going to improve on their laps. Maybe just for a bit of last minute practice. So yeah, I don't think we're going to see any improvement from Tan or Serb or Bossman Pickle. So I think we've got our people that are going to be eliminated right here already. Tan validating his lap, which with Orsi seeming pretty slow. Serbwolf, ooh, loses it. Luckily, did not crash out, but he was not going to go through to Q3 anyway, as he was already a second down just coming from Sector 1. So with that 113.759, he'll be starting in 12th. Tan 12-12, 113.723. 2 minutes 15 seconds left in Q2. And yeah, just no improvement gonna be found on the wet tires, as people just driving wide and crashing and losing their front wing. Busman Pickles saying, you know what, got nothing to lose, I'm in last place, 14.0, maybe the gods bless me and I somehow improve on my 114.0. I doubt it, but it's a shot worth giving. Head Bumpy out there having some practice. Coming through Sector 2, 0.8 seconds slower. I think Ed Bumpy did improve his lap time. He's at a 112.9. Still in 7th though, which is not going to be great. And we must remember, DeRoy, JT Gelato both have 5-second grid place penalties. Maybe stupid, but they still have them. Ed Bumpy now enters the pits, not feeling like going for another time round and seeing that he's not going to improve on his lap. Most probably. Tan 12-12. Serbwolf, Busman Pickle, Merv Martin, Max. Oh, I was gonna say, all still on track, but Max just entering the pits. Merv Martin with an invalid lap. Serbwolf now re-entering the pits to confirm his elimination from Q2. Tan and Busman Pickle about them. Busman having another go around, still gotta try and see what he can pull off. Tan 12-12 entering the pits slowly but surely. And you know, especially in the rain, you really don't want to keep going wide and you know, lose a tire. So yeah, Tan 12-12, Serbwolf both getting eliminated. Wreck also. And Busman Pickle, unless he can find some miracle improvement, he's also going to be getting eliminated down in 13th. As we are spectating Busman Pickle, and it's a shame. It seems like the rain, you know, him and the rain was really just not having a great relationship here in Austria. But he seemed to have done really well in Q1 when it was still dry. So maybe he has a lot of pace to give in the dry. And if we don't see that come during the race, well, Busman Pickle might be in for a struggle, as he invalidates anyway. But he was only 0.1 seconds slower, so we might have actually seen some improvement. But that is not going to happen now. Busman Pickle will be getting eliminated from Q2, and that's going to actually round up and end Q2. And that is the end of Q2. Close. Sanev getting eliminated. Oh no. So Sanev did crash out, I guess. I thought he had retired in the pits, but seems like he has actually crashed out. So Sanev also out of Q2, which would means we're only going to be having 9 drivers here in Q3, which is going to start in the next few seconds. And it's still raining in Q3. And a number of drivers already making their way out onto the track, and it's the Haas of Max that's first out, followed by the Williams of Het Bumpier. Behind him, the Alfa Romeo of Merv Martin, the 2 Renaults, DeRoy and Martins. Half Shot Ferry, but look, everyone is out apart from JT Gelato, who's actually also coming out now. Which that's pretty early for JT Gelato. Normally does not come out at such an early time. I'm very curious as to how the pace of the drivers is in the dry, and who's benefiting or not benefiting from the fact that the qualifying is in the wet, and if the race is going to be in the wet, and how that's going to impact them as well. But Max is now coming through. It is full wets from the beginning of this session. He's keeping it valid so far. Maybe the rain not being too much of a problem for Max. JT Gelato fastest sector 1. Max currently fastest sector 2, obviously though, because he is, the driver to first set a sector 2 time, and he almost lost it coming through sector 3. That's gonna impact his lap badly, that's for sure. But he comes through rounding the final corner. Shortest track Austria. And even a lap in full wets does not take long. 113.6 for Max. And how's Het Bumpier gonna fare? 114.4. Merv Martin 113.7. Varied lap times. Het Bumpier struggling in the rain, it seems. DeRoy 114.0. Half Shot Ferry provisional pole 113.6. So next, they're gonna be next across the line. 119.6, definitely a mistake along the way. Sergi Velo on provisional pole, 113.2, and can JT Gelato steal that provisional pole? Yes, he can. 113 flat on the dot, 2/10 ahead of CRG Velo, which means Martin's only guy left to set a lap time. Probably invalidated his last one, having to have another go around. And this time he's kept it valid. Oh no, he's not. I think the second I said that, he invalidated it, and he's not going to be happy with that, because I don't know if he's going to have the fuel to have another go round. I'm assuming since it's wet, he might have overfueled a bit. We'll just have to wait and see. And in fact, some of the drivers are still staying out. Head bump here, I can see, invalidating his lap. CRG Velo on provisional pole, 112.9. So yeah, drivers have been overfueling and going for more than one go. And on board the JT Gelato, going to be interesting to see if he can improve on his lap time. Can he steal provisional pole? Bit of a lock up. Gonna be curious to see how that impacts his lap time. He is just slightly slower coming through sector 2, so still a chance to improve by that 1/10 that he needs to get ahead of CRG Velo. CRG Velo improves again, 112.8. Provisional pole once more, and JT Gelato actually entering the pits, looking maybe for a fresh set of tires. Maybe it's intermediate tire weather. I don't think so, but hey, you never know. I'm not the one out on track. I can't tell perfectly from out here. Max was trying to go for faster lap, currently at a 113.2, but is re-entering the pits, and drivers now after 2-3 laps starting to re-enter the pits. So next has been unable to improve on that 119.6 so far, only did one lap though. And now he seems to be going for another take on an out lap, so we'll need to be seeing the times that he puts around next lap. Head bump here, really struggling. 113.9. And then ahead of him, the Roy 113.6, Merv Martin 113.5. And remember, JT Gelato, the Roy, both with 5 place grid penalties. Unfair ones, but they're still there. Nothing we can do about it. Some drivers out on laps. So Tsunexta starting his lap now, and it is on intermediate, so I was right. Intermediate's a faster tire, which means that drivers will be really needing to get out and do laps on intermediates, because we're going to see some faster lap times, and that could really shake up the order of things. Fingers, it's probably going to be the winner. It's probably going to be the last man out on inters. Let's take a look at CRG Velo. He's opted for a wet, so maybe inters isn't faster, because Max, half shot, all opting for wets. Head bump here, opting for intermediates, sorry, mediums, my god. So yeah, let's see where the intermediates of Tsunexta are going to put him. He's currently 4.6 seconds faster, coming through sector 2. He's still got a ways away to improve though. Let's see how fast can he go. It's Tsunexta coming through the final corner. It opened DRS right about now. If it was dry, crosses the line 114.3. And I wonder if that's because he struggles in the rain. If it's because of he's using intermediates. Maybe intermediates are actually faster. it's going to be good to see with that Bumpier. This will be a good indication of how the intermediates are actually doing, and then drivers will probably try base the next lap, whether they go out on wets and inters, on what head Bumpier could do. If he sets a fast lap time inters, then inters might be the right choice. He has improved by over a tenth, and the track is looking very much less wet than it was at the start of the race. There's less rainfall as well, so I really do think intermediates is the better call, as head Bumpier rounding the final 2 corners. Well, 13.3 for 0.8 for head Bumpier has improved by almost a tenth, but it is an intermediate, so we might see some more takers on the intermediates. I see DeRoy's on inters, Merv Martin's on inters. Yeah, people coming in for the inter tires. The drivers that have gone out for the wets have come back in for intermediates. 1:30 right now left in the session, and it's time people start making their way out, or else they'll be able to have a go at another lap. And yeah, everybody is out on an out lap or not. Martins, I think that's Martins coming out of the pits. No, it's a Haas coming out of the pits now. Ooh, the Haas of CRG Velo and the Renault of Martins never setting a lap. He's coming out now, but both Martins and CRG Velo leaving it too late. There's no way they're going to be able to actually set a lap time though. Well, sorry, no way CRG Velo is going to be able to set a lap and try to go faster than 112.8 currently in first, and no way Martin's going to actually be able to try and set a lap time. They've left it too late. Now JT Gelato on provisional pole, 111.8 on the intermediate tires. Head Bumpier improving to 113.4 on the intermediates. So next now coming through the penultimate corner, a final corner. Can he keep it valid? Uses a lot of, almost spins out, managing to save it. That's going to cost him a couple of tenths, though improves only by 1/10 to 113.6. Max, I don't think was able to. No, I think Max just starting his lap now. Half shot Ferry as well. Merv Martin improving to a 112.5. Still quite a number of tenths behind JT Gelato though. And it's next to letting drivers go by. DeRoy improving to a 112.7. And yeah, Martin's going to be unable to set another lap, or unable to set a lap. As DeRoy's retired from the session, and drivers slowly retiring. I think it's because of, I think DeRoy crashed, to be fair, and Snexta might have crashed as well. No, Snexta is driving along slowly but surely. At Bumpier up into 5th, 112.9. And JT Gelato 111.8 on pole. I did see Merv Martin, he might have clocked a fastest lap of the race. Sorry. A fastest sector too. So he might be on for pole. Max improves to second, 112.5. Half shot Ferry into second, 112.2. And I don't think Merv Martin was able to do another lap. I'm not too sure. But 5-second grid penalties in place, which means that the half shot Ferry actually on pole position. Will be starting on there, and DeRoy will be starting down in 10th due to his grid place penalty. So yeah, first JT Gelato, second half shot Ferry, third Max, fourth Merv Martin, fifth DeRoy, sixth CRG Velo not unable to do a lap on Inter's head Bumpier, in seventh Snexta, eighth, and Martin's being unable to set a lap entirely in ninth. And Sergi Velo was only a second before the line start the lap. Yeah, that really ruined him. He would have had a chance to really go up the pecking order as well. Sergi Velo got a lot of pace on him, but down in 6th is where he's going to have to start. Well, actually, yeah, down in 6th because JT Gelato's 5 grades. No, it gave him up position because of the Roy's grid place penalty, so up into 5th at least. JT Gelato up 3/10 in Q3, almost 4. And go Velo, yeah, if he had been able to set that lap on Inters, he would have been soaring through. Probably a good top 3 finish. And now, oh, it is dry. The race is dry. Would you look at that? Servus left the session, that's so good. A very bad time to leave the session, I must say. Sent him an invite and a spare. Alright. So, Half Shot Ferry on first. In first. Max second. Merv Martin in third. CRG Velo did go up to fourth because of the grid place penalties. Behind him, JT Gelato in fifth. The man who actually got pole position. Behind JT Gelato, Het Bumpier, fellow challenger for the Drivers' Championship. If JT Gelato gets 40 more points more than Het Bumpier, he will be crowned Drivers' Champion according to my calculations before the race. So next in 7th, alongside Martins, keep pronouncing his name wrong. Son Evan, the AlphaTauri in 9th, who finds himself teammate-less today, and Busman Pickle does as well, down in 13th, no spare Red Bull. DeRoy in 10th, Tantwolf 12th, and 11th, Serwolf in 12th. Wreck, reserve driver for today for DXSinio in 14th. James Robertson coming back after having his wheel in the factory crashed out in Q1, starts in 15th, and Vicky down in 16th. He is reserving for Andre in the Alfa Romeo, who find themselves third in the the Constructors' Championship, if I'm not mistaken. Second being Haas, first being McLaren. Haas looking today to play some good catch up on that. Half Shot Ferry, don't think he's ever started in first. He will be enjoying a first place start. I'm looking to get away well. He's got Max and Merv and CRG, JT Gelato, Het Bumpier 6 very fast drivers, and this is going to be an interesting one. Drivers have all lined up to their slots. We have 5 red lights. The delay as always. And it's lights out and away we go. And Half Shot does get away very well. Merv Martin and Max challenging for position, but Merv Martin slotting ahead of him. JT Gelato as well ahead of Max. There was, I think, a bit of a spin down in the back. DeRoy's left the session. I don't know what's gone wrong. I have to re-invite him back. He's got spare invites though. JT Gelato already up a place, looking to go up some more. CRG Velo down one, trying to find back. Merv Martin dropping down 2. I think he might have gone some wing damage, I'm not sure. Found himself in a bit of a battle. It's a 3-way battle here. Oh, side by side coming down. Who's going to break later? Max breaking later, regains, stays in second. CRG Velo now going around the outside of JT Gelato, but JT Gelato able to hold them off. Obviously qualifying in the wet. Drivers have free choice of tyres for whatever they want, and we'll be taking a look at tyres a bit later on in the race. In the meantime, a bit further down in midfield, Bus and Pickle, Wreck both up 4. Martins down 5. DeRoy, ooh, connection issues for him, down in 6th. Sorry, down 6 places. Ooh, ooh, and Tantwolf 12 retired from the session, and he seems to have kept going wide off. We see a virtual safety car. It gives me a good opportunity to re-invite Roy. Good luck, Velo. Do your thing. He's still in 4th. And there's still a lot of race left to go. Roy having issues. A lot of connection issues. And I'm leaving him some spare invites. But this is not going well for Roy. And Tantos will apparently span out. That caused his incident. So we're 2 laps in. Half Shot Ferry able to hold on to 1st. Max as well able to hold on to 2nd. JT Gelato up 2 places. Into 3rd. Roy not being able to stay connected to the session. CRG Velo still in 4th. Merv Martins dropped down 2. VSC has ended. And then behind Merv Martin, Head Bumpy, H6 are right behind him. Drivers in quite a single file, although I see Wreck and Bossman Pickle. Bossman Pickle might be looking, sorry, and Serbolf might be looking to make a move down the inside of Wreck, and he does it, completes it, and he is ahead of the McLaren. Head Bumpy and Merv Martin really close. Head Bumpy looking to use the slipstream, looks left, looks right, looks left. Can't find the way through. DRS is enabled this lap if I'm not mistaken, so it is, and drivers might start being able to use that to their advantage. Ooh, as drivers now side by side, Merv Martin making another mistake, and Head Bumpy's going to take advantage of that, and so is Snakes. The 3 wide Snakes a clip of the grass, but he's still able to stay side by side alongside them. Now he's going to try and get some slipstream off Merv Martin. No, good look down the inside of them both, and a bit of a lock up. He manages to not crash into any of them. Head Bumpy upper place, Tsenexta upper place, Merv Martin down some more places. Now he's going to fight it back to Tsenexta, and he's going to stay ahead. He's still side by side, and now probably nicely ahead of Tsenexta. Merv Martin fighting with all his life. I'd really like to get a look at his front wing. It seems to be all intact, and Merv Martin though not having the best of starts. I'm re-inviting Serbolf and Roy, who just seemingly cannot stay connected to the session. In the meantime, Max, fastest lap of the race. JT Gelato will be looking to gain some places. He's right on their tail. Oh, I see CRG Velo's down 11. I think it was just a bit of a glitch. Wreck has pit. He's changing his front wing. It must have been some incident I missed down in the midfield. And JT Gelato almost looking for a move. Max almost leaving the door open for him to make a move. And now Martins and Vicky side by side. Martins ahead of Vicky. Vicky up 5 places. Jamie Robertson up 3. Rex retired from the session, and I think he crashed in the pits. That's an interesting one. So let's take a quick look at tires, because that's really gonna affect strategy. I'd like to take a look at tires. So CRG Velo, Bossman Pickles, Sun Ev, Vicky all starting on mediums, looking for, I'm guessing, a medium to soft strategy, while the other drivers will be looking for a soft to medium strategy. Bit of a DRS train almost forming up, and I must say though, we have a VS. Oh, we do have a VSC. Oh, it was a collision, I think, between Roy and Serbolf. I'm not entirely sure, but they both seem to be very hung up. DRS is back enabled. Jamie Robertson's gone off track. Oh, a lot of weird stuff going on. Martins and Vicky side by side again. Martins looking to hold Vicky off, and does indeed. And Vicky on mediums with the slow tire compound, but Martins got an atrocious exit from the hairpin, and now Vicky, and yeah, Vicky ahead. Martins though with DRS able to regain his position. Merv Martin down in 6th, not losing any more places so far, and is still within reach of first place. No need to worry. Merv Martin, he is right on the tail of Head Bumpy, and CRG Velo holding his own very nicely on mediums in 4th. That is very good for him, and is still within DRS range. Vicky and Martin still really close by. Yeah, very much a single file line forming over here. Oh, it's actually Max and Half Shot Ferry. I did not clock that. Max making a move, a lunge for the lead, and he's up into first, getting past Half Shot Ferry on lap 6. And Half Shot Ferry drops to second, and JT Gelato might be looking to take advantage. The surprise, probably Half Shot Ferry caught by surprise that an overtake was made on him. Somehow yellow flags in sector 3 when there isn't even a single car there. You gotta love this game. And yeah, JT Gelato might be looking to... Oh, I think he's a bit too far back though to be able to utilize that DRS to get ahead of Half Shot Ferry. Max, fastest lap of the race. Jamie Robertson, 30-second time penalty. Serbov's got one as well. Yeah, we've got a fight right now between DeRoy and Jamie Robertson, Vicky and Martins, all very close. Oh, and look at that. Look at JT Gelato around the outside of Half Shot Ferry, trying to take it around the outside, at least was unable to. And JT Gelato still really close to Half Shot Ferry, might take a dive bomb down the inside. He's too far back to consider it. Oh, is actually CRG Velo touching JT Gelato ever so slightly. No wing damage, was like telling you, alright mate, I'm right here, I'm right behind y'all. And the top 6 drivers all so close to each other. And remember, JT Gelato needs 40 points more than Het Bumpier. Currently currently far from 40 points ahead of Het Bumpier with the way things stand. So yeah, this is going to be very difficult for the race to be decided, for the championship to be decided here today. Yellow flag in sector 3. I'm not really sure for what. And yeah, I'm just not really sure for what. And JT Gelato, we saw him go around the outside of Half Shot Ferry last lap. He's a bit too far back to do it this time. CRG Velo keeps glitching for me, who tried to take it down the inside of JT Gelato. Oh, and he spun? No, I don't think he spun. I'm really not sure what's going on. CRG Velo being very glitchy on my end. Max and Half Shot Ferry fighting it out, and Half Shot Ferry again ahead of Max. These two having a very nice battle between themselves. CRG Velo is indeed down to 6. Might have had a bit of a small spin, not really sure what's going on, a bit of lag and a bit of a bad connection between his and mine, but he finds himself right behind Merv Martin, so still in contention for the lead. CRG Velo now 3-second time penalty, and that's not what you're going to be seeing. Top 6 also close together. He's the first one of those to be getting a 3-second time penalty. Vicky now 3-second time penalty as well. JT Gelato holding nicely in third. Het Bumpier in fourth, up a few places. Merv Martin currently unable to really be comebacking. Oh, it looks like though he's going to try to get past Het Bumpier now, and looks like JT Gelato is going to try to get past Max. You could see a double overtake happen. Well, not exactly for double overtake, but you guys know what I mean. JT Gelato now ahead of Max. Max is going to try to take it around the outside. He's going to try to stick. He's going to have more grip. And JT Gelato actually going a bit down to the right, and that allows Het Bumpier to get past him, and Merv Martin's going to attack JT Gelato as well. And Merv Martin side by side with JT Gelato, going to have the outside line, going to have some more grip. He might be able to get past JT, fighting him, forcing him as wide as he can, and JT Gelato stays ahead. CRG Velo down in... He isn't down in 12th. The game is glitching for me. He is in 6th, right behind Merv Martin. And yeah, the game is not being the most smooth right now for me. So, Half Shot Ferry in first, being able to hold off Max after losing the position to Max, and then regaining the position. Now is being able to hold him off. Het Bumpier ahead of JT Gelato. JT, after JT tried to get past Max, he kind of lost the rear or something, because then Het Bumpier was able to take advantage and get past him. And Het Bumpier now looking to get past Max, up the inside of Max, and he's not going to give Max a room around the outside. In fact, he's able to slot neatly out of Max and is ahead of him. Both of them though having DRS, but can any of them use it to their advantage? You know, none of them can't. Het Bumpier up into second, the man on a mission, up 4 places. Boswin Pickle up 6 in 7th. Vicky up 7 places in 9th. And And I don't know why the game is glitching and telling me CRG Velo is in 12th, because I can confirm he is indeed right behind Merv Martin in 6th. Oh, as Merv Martin and JT Gelato, I thought they were battling it out. They are not. JT Gelato is just the first taker in the pits. Martin's with a 3-second time penalty, and let's see, JT Gelato slotting on the hards. So is the strategy a soft to hard and then medium to softs? Could that be the strategy? Maybe it's medium hard. We'll just have to wait and see. For the drivers decide to pull off, and now JT Gelato coming out in 10th on the hards with Jamie Robertson and the Roy, I think. Yeah, right behind them. Sir Wolf is the driver that's actually lost and not the Roy. The timing board is a bit glitchy, as you guys can tell. Anyway, moving back up the field. So next, the driving quite by himself, 2.4 seconds away from, I was going to say top 6, but currently it's a top 5. As CRG Velo is right behind Merv Martin. So now with a 3-second time penalty slowly starting to pick up, drivers slowly starting to pick up 3-second time penalties. Now hit Bumpy, they might look for a move on half shot Ferry, tap the inside like he did on Max last lap or 2 laps ago, but he's too far back, can't consider it, maybe can consider it after the hairpin, through the hairpin. Again, yellow flags in sector 3 when there's no one there. This game is going mental. And yeah, no overtakes happening down that back straight. And now drivers really starting to find their feet, find their position. No overtakes happening anymore. Yellow flags again in sector 3 and nobody's out spinning in sector 3. At least now there's Silver in sector 3, but he seems to be fine. I really feel like I should be ignoring the game's calls. So now half shot Ferry. Oh, Max entering the pits. Here's a taker on softs, and let's see where that can take him. Oh, and I'm just clocking. CRG Velo is on mediums, in a very good position on mediums. So Max entering the pits, and what's he gonna take? He's putting on the hard compound tire as well. And let's see where he's gonna come out, especially very importantly in relation to JT Gelato. JT Gelato quite nicely ahead of Max. Max obviously will have a bit fresher tires, but JT Gelato is around 2.5 seconds ahead of him, as Martin's might try to take it up the inside of JT Gelato, not too far back. Martin's on old used softs, JT Gelato on pretty new hards, and Max will be looking to chase them down. Obviously battle for the lead here between JT and Max and the other drivers. Now Busman Pickle has been gaining on Senexta. He is on mediums, so they will have more grip than the old softs roundabout now. And now half shot Ferry entering the pits, and I'm not sure, I think he managed to barely clock that 80 km/h pit speed. They almost got a drive-through penalty. Nice helmet, I must add, as well, from half shot Ferry, who slots on the medium tire compound, and the candidate, I'm guessing he thinks he can take those mediums till the end. Merv Martin now as well putting on the mediums. Then JT Gelato and Max, no mistake, putting on the hards. Martin's retired from the session, and I think he crashed on the pit straight. Not the pit, yeah, the main straight, and he will not be too pleased with that. Half shot Ferry able to come out from the pits ahead of Max and behind JT Gelato within the RS distance. Merv Martin coming out right behind Max. And CRG Velo, who was on the mediums, I think just pit and came out on mediums now, which I find very odd, because he was on a fresh set and it seemed like he did just pit. So we'll have to wait and see where that will lead him. He's going quite slowly. I hope everything's okay with CRG Velo. Bit further up into the field, Head Bumpy now coming in. I think he's the last of the soft-tired people still out on track. Him and Senexta and Jamie Robertson, Sir with the Roy, all still out on softs. Yeah, him and Senexta both entering the pits, and you know, No offense to Zach, so by that he's going to be winning the race. From the people that might have the chance of winning the race, Vicky drives through penalty. As Head Bumpy slots on the mediums, he was the last person to stay on that compound tyre. And yeah, now Sunev and Boston Pickle on those old mediums. I see Vicky as well came out of the pits, I think, on the fresh set. No, just at the service drive through penalty. I'm really quite confused. Anyway, Head Bumpy, JT Gelato side by side. Head Bumpy going up the inside of JT Gelato on his fresh mediums. A faster tyre, fresher tyre, and Head Bumpy ahead of JT Gelato. And JT Gelato will not be happy about that unless Head Bumpy he has another stop coming his way. And JT Gelato is in trouble for that race win. Offshore Ferry still right behind JT Gelato. Max gaining nicely as well. And Merv Martin right behind Max. I'm gonna re-invite Serbov. Don't know what's going on. And now Sergi Velo, Half-Shot Ferry, both picking up time penalties. Had Bumpier, Sonev as well, and Boston Pickle all with time penalties. And Head Bumpier now already a second and a half ahead of JT Gelato. Sergi Velo is on softs. I am quite confused. Don't see why he would pit unless he swapped to an AI and I never realized. And now Half-Shot Ferry up the inside of JT Gelato also gets ahead. Those hards for JT Gelato not working nicely for him. Unless obviously Head Bumpier and Half-Shot Ferry will be needing to make another pit stop, or because if that's the case then those hards might work for JT Gelato. And indeed we are seeing some lobby issues, but hopefully it's not as bad as they seem. Sergi Velo, fastest lap of the race on softs. I can't get why he would pit again as he goes ahead of Serbwolf. Sergi Velo I think is actually in 9th with Tsenexta ahead of him, I think. Honestly, this game quite a glitched lobby. Merv Martin in 7, Max in 6, JT Gelato in 5th, Half-Shot Ferry in 4th, Head Bumpy in 3rd. These drivers all fighting for the race lead. Sonev, Boston Pickle yet to pit, but do currently find themselves in 1st and 2nd. And with Sonev having DRS on Boston Pickle, we might see a move down the inside. Sonev taking the lunge down the inside, and ahead of Boston Pickle he goes. Boston Pickle trying to switchback, locked up, but still able to pull off the switchback, as he is now with the inside line. Now he's going to have the outside line, but Sonev is able to slot ahead of Boston Pickle and move up to 1st place. I wonder when these medium guys will be swapping onto possibly the soft tire compound and go till the end. JT Gelato, although on hards, being able to keep up with the guys on mediums. Which I'm sure they will not be happy about. So next has left the session. Aye aye aye. Lobby really having a lot of issues. And this is not good. Head Bumpier now will be looking to get past Busman Pickle. He's going to try to take around the outside of Busman Pickle. And Head Bumpier still not ahead of Busman Pickle. Obviously, Head Bumpier has pit. Busman Pickle has not pit yet. But Head Bumpier is still trying to get ahead. Oh, I think DeRoy's crashed out now as well. CRG Velo once again in the pits. Not quite sure what strategy he's on. Yeah, CRG Velo lagging all over the place. Yeah, I've never ever seen this. DRS enabled? What do you mean? Since when was DRS disabled? Maybe by the VSC, I did not clock. But yeah, this lobby is not looking so hot. I see two drivers though side by side. It's Busman Pickle and Head Bumpier. Head Bumpier getting ahead of Busman Pickle, and now Hofstra Ferry will be looking to do the same and get ahead of Busman Pickle. And Half-Shot Ferry right on the tail of Busman Pickle. JT Gelato observing right behind them, and now with the DRS, Half-Shot Ferry down the inside of Busman Pickle. JT Gelato not looking to get past just yet, and Half-Shot Ferry is ahead of Busman Pickle, and JT Gelato looking to get past now. Oh, sorry, not looking to get past as DRS. I was looking at the drivers behind. That was Murph Martin getting out of Busman Pickle. Max has gone out of Busman Pickle. JT Gelato's getting out of Busman Pickle. I don't know if Busman Pickle just gave away all the places. I'm not quite sure what happened, but yeah. At Bumpier now ahead of Sonev. And the Offshot Ferry, JT Gelato, Max, Murph Martin will all be looking to get past Sonev as well, as he's not a current racer for the race win, but he's just a driver who has not pit yet. Vicky and Jamie Robertson side by side. Vicky looking to get past Jamie Robertson. And taking it really stretched around the outside move. And was unable to get past Jamie Robertson. And I feel like Vicky thinks there's a Mercedes in front of him when I don't think there is. I'm not quite sure what's going on in Sonev. I think just a half shot, and oh, actually Sonev almost losing the rear end. JT Gelato, half shot Ferry ahead of Sonev, and Max now will be looking to get ahead of Sonev. They are side by side. Busman Pickles in the pits, and Max ahead of Sonev, who's going to be under attack from Murph Martin in just a minute. Sonev now entering the pits. JT Gelato looking to get past Max. Top 5 drivers all in the lead. CRG Velo, I really don't know what happened along the way with him, but he is down according to the game in 11th. I'm pretty sure he is not in 11th, and I'm pretty sure this is just a glitch, and come the end of the race he's gonna be like, oh nice, I finished in like 4th or something. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens come the end of that. Jamie Robertson ahead of Vicky, after Vicky clipped the grass on a bit of a wide exit, but now he's gonna try fight it back with the DRS that he has, forcing Jamie Robertson as wide as he can, and now gets ahead again of Jamie Robertson. But this is a very glitched lobby. I do partially believe it might be because Vicky joined during qualifying, and I will not do that next time around. As JT Gelato gets ahead of Half Shot Ferry, you know, like once qualifying starts, it does go wide though, and Half Shot Ferry ahead of JT Gelato after he goes a bit too wide, and Max, observing them both, will be looking to maybe take advantage or at least gain some time as Head Bupier over 1.5 seconds out of Half Shot Ferry, looking for the race win. As Bosman Pickle now ahead of Senexta. Merv Martin as well, fall off quite a bit from the pack, 3 seconds behind Max. Take a look at time penalties. 3 seconds for everyone on track, apart from Vicky's got 12, Jamie's got 9, Sergi Velo's got 6, JT Gelato up the inside of Half Shot Ferry and gets ahead of Half Shot Ferry. Half Shot Ferry will be looking to fight back, and somehow none of them, I think, no, Half Shot Ferry does have DRS, but was unable to get side by side again with JT Gelato. It's a shame the lobby was so glitched. Austria always potential for a brilliant race, and I mean, don't get me wrong, this has been a pretty good battle for the lead, but obviously the lobby glitches really, you know, causing problems and reducing the excitement and all of this race. And that is a pretty big shame. JT Gelato slowly has gained a bit on Head Bumpier. Half Shot Ferry still right behind JT Gelato. Max right behind Half Shot Ferry. Merv Martin losing a lot of time to the top drivers. I don't think he's got wing damage, as Nexter gets a drive through penalty for speeding under VSC, and I don't recall seeing a VSC. That just goes to show how glitched the lobby is. Yeah, Vicky here, lobby very glitchy. Yeah, I don't know how it's always yellow flags, and I did consider restarting the lobby, maybe doing a 25% race, but I feel like it's too late. Like, we just have to live with it. And next time you want to reserve Vicky, you know, tell us from beforehand, because one of the reasons why we might be having such a glitched lobby is the fact that you joined midway through qualifying. Nonetheless, CRG Velo seems to be battling it out with not Jamie Robertson. I don't know who. He's battling it out with Sunev in 6. This is what my point exactly. I really have no clue where CRG Velo actually stands. Busman Pickle gaining, I think, to Sunev. He's currently 2 seconds behind Sunev. Man, we've been getting yellow flags for no reason, left, right, and center. Yeah, horrible bug when people join midway through qualifying session. Yeah, I realized, and I think that was the issue because Vicky joined midway through qualifying, and that is a mistake I will not be making again because it has quite ruined a brilliant, and don't get me wrong, a brilliant race has been going on between the top guys, but it has really ruined the whole vibe of the race. Formed a bit of a DRS train at Bumpier, JT Gelato, Ferry and Max. Waiting stand at Bumpier will be gaining a bit of points on JT Gelato, and who knows, maybe JT Gelato won't even win the championship next race. We'll just have to wait and see how things go. Head Bumpier currently my driver of the day, up 5 places for the race win. JT Gelato up 3, Sonev also up 3, Boston Pickle up 6, Vicky up 8, Jamie Robertson up 5. And yeah, top 4, all very close to each other, but none of them really making any moves. Can you see some action? As I say that, Halfshot Ferry went a bit wide. Max looking to take advantage, and with DRS takes advantage indeed. Inside line, Max, Halfshot Ferry not really able to combat it, and Max is ahead of Halfshot Ferry. I don't think the medium runners, aka Head Bumpier and Halfshot Ferry, will be going on and doing another pit stop, but now, you know, their tires will start getting worse, as will the hards, but obviously the hards degrading slower. They might be slowly getting more pace than the medium runners in the form of Head Bumpier and Halfshot Ferry, so I might see some overtakes from JT Gelato ahead of Head Bumpier and Max ahead of Halfshot Ferry. All these drivers though, also close. Literally anything is possible. As Boston Pickle has been gaining on Sonev, both of them on softs. Honestly, Max is on track to win this race. When we take a look at penalties, yeah, these guys, the top 3 all have a 3-second time penalty. Max, no time penalty, and that's Max's main focus. Not track position, just not getting a time penalty will, you know, propel him to first once the race is over. Sonev Doherty just seeing what he did. Honestly, I would not take what you see with Velo into consideration. Velo on my lobby is 99% glitched. So unless you're seeing a share screen of CRG Velo, of his actual game, I would not really take into consideration what you're seeing. Plus on my screen, if anything, Sonev's driving quite by himself with Boston Pickle right behind him. It's next the fastest lap of the race on softs, and a nice extra 2 points for that. And obviously pole position, JT Gelato will be getting an extra 3. Although actually I think Halfshot Ferry in that case will be getting an extra 3 points because of the grid penalty. Yeah, I'm sitting there right next to him. Oh, huh. Well, that is interesting. So can you tell me, where is Velo actually placed on Velo's game? Because up till the first few laps I could tell that he was in the mix with the top 4, top 5, top 6. But now I have absolutely no clue. I've seen him pit like 500,000 times and I can't tell why either. JT Gelato right on the tail of Head Bumpier. Halfshot Ferry almost falling out of a second range to JT Gelato. If that happens, he won't be having any DRS assistance and they will leave him very vulnerable to Max indeed. As Boston Pickle now is right on the tail of Sonev. So Velo's currently in 8th. That is... yeah, that makes sense. But why did he pit so many times? Okay, I say so many times, he's only pit twice, but why the extra stop? He started on mediums, and then I swear he like pit to mediums, and he's on mediums now. I'm really confused as to what happened there. And yeah, Sonev, by the way, is not a dirty driver. I know Sonev is in real life ain't a dirty driver. He's actually decently clean. honestly, for all we know, Sonev might be having the same glitch I have, where CRG Velo's down in 11. So yeah, there's all that to take into consideration. As Bosman Pickle trying to get ahead of Sonev, and now looking around the outside of Sonev, and was unable to get past, and now using the slipstream, trying to get past. He's going to try to take it around the outside of Sonev. Sonev defending nicely, not allowing Bosman Pickle any room to get past. As Offshot Ferry has fallen off and is not within a second to JT Gelato, and Max now can slowly really start to push and get ahead of Half-Shot Ferry with only what, 4 laps left in this race. Oh, Merv brake checked him going into the pits. Maybe that's why it could be the issue. But again, maybe Merv. More yellow flags than points for me this season. Honestly, there's been yellow flags for absolutely nothing. I swear, people are probably sneezing and there's like, oh, yellow flag, caution, you might have COVID at this point. Don't know what's going on. Bosman Pickle, Sonev battling it out. Sonev trying to defend Bosman Pickle though able to get ahead of Sonev, but Sonev will not take that lightly. He's going to try to take it around the outside. Bosman Pickle not letting him any room, and is ahead nicely of Sonev. Half-Shot Ferry gained quite a decent amount of ERS, has been able to put himself back within a second of JT Gelato, and he's going to need that, so Max doesn't easily get past him. He's been trying to get past though, Half-Shot Ferry. I don't know if I see some clouds. I mean, I doubt it's gonna rain. I mean, we've got 3 laps, so I highly doubt they're gonna be seeing any rain. But maybe if this were, 100% race distance, we'd actually have seen a dry to wet race. But yeah, now, although I'm saying like Max, looking to get past and trying to get past, honestly, he'd only do it for his own pride and for the track position, because as long as he doesn't get a time penalty, Max is on track to win this race, as we have 2 laps left to go in the Austrian Grand Prix. Watch Sonev as Velo gets near. Sonev is not near Velo on my screen. Sonev is fighting Bosman. Oh wait, actually no, Velo is kinda right behind them. But honestly, Sonev might have Velo as a ghost. This lobby is glitched. You can't really take into consideration any dirtiness that's been happening, as Jim Roberts, I'm pretty sure, is a blue marker, and had Bumpier, JT Gelato, Offshot Ferry all trying to get past the back markers, and obviously blue wave should be flagging. So, wow, blue flag should be waving. I meant to say. And you see that's Sonev. I think did Sonev just put Velo onto the wall? I think he might have, but as Velo's left the session. Yeah, I think Sonev does not see Velo properly on his screen, like I'm not. Yeah, I just don't think Sonev is actually trying to crash out Velo. I think it's all just a lobby glitch, really. I think it's a lobby glitch. I don't think Sonev is actually trying to be dirty. Anyway, final lap of the race of the Austrian GP, and I must say, because of all the chaos of the lobby glitches, time has passed pretty quickly, and on the final lap of the race, JT Gelato trying to get past Head Bumpier. Head Bumpier though saying, no, I want to win this race at least on track position, and stays in first. JT Gelato still second. Medium tires working nicely for Bumpier and Half-Shot Ferry as well, both being able to keep their hard counterparts at bay in the form of JT Gelato and Max in second and fourth. Max on track to win with no time penalties, on track to win the race. However, on pure track position, Head Bumpier coming down now, the penultimate corner, and he's only going to have the final corner left and the final DRS zone. Nothing really going to being able to stop him, as Head Bumpier is going to win the Austrian GP when JT Gelato is slowing down. I don't know why, but Max winning because of no time penalties. Head Bumpier in second, and JT Gelato in I think third, and Half Shot Ferry would be fourth. Yeah, I'll just need to, you know, check that one out. Murph Martin 5th, Bosman Pickle 6th, Sunev in 7th. CRG Velo might actually be 7th or 8th. Sunev is not dirty, the lobby is glitching. How many times do I have to say it? So yeah, Sunev 6th, able to get out of Bosman Pickle Vicky, and 8th, Snakes and 9th, J Robertson 10th, CRG Velo 11th, probably winded up somewhere completely different, and Serbulf 12th, honestly, also might have wound up completely different. It's a shame lobby glitched so much, but we'll take this as a lesson. Not had anyone to join during quali. They either can join before the race or they before, you know, the session starts, so that's that. Did they do the same thing? Also, in my opinion, had Bumpy driver of the day. Well, he didn't win the race, but I went up like 3 places. Nothing happened. Well, I guess it's how the wind blows. We were unlucky enough that it happened. And so the first time, to be fair, I've heard of it, and I was a bit worried it was going to happen, and it did. That was a strange race. It was fun, I think, for the front drivers. Apparently a bunch of VSC as well, and yellow flags everywhere, yeah. Yeah, yellow flags everywhere, it was weird. So next up, first lap of the race. I thank you all for watching. Hopefully, next week's race, not this bugged. And also, I'll be round 11 out of 13, coming to a close this season. Yeah, shame for the glitches. If you want to reserve, actually, you know, tell me you want to reserve, you know, before the race actually starts, so you can get that all sorted nice and easily without the hassle of you needing to join mid-quali. I thank you all for watching, though. This has been Austria. JT Gelato not Drivers' Championship yet. McLaren not Constructors' Championship. Not Constructors' Champions either yet. So we'll just have to wait and see for that to happen if any of them will. I thank you all for joining, and Godspeed.